everyone. Welcome back to my channel, Opinions on Stories. In today's video, I want to talk about Diddy being found not guilty on the most serious charges against him in his trial. Let's get into it. For the past several weeks, Diddy's been on trial for RICO charges, short for Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act. The charges he faced were racketeering conspiracy, 2 counts of sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, and 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. The jury finally reached a verdict. They only found him guilty of the 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. Even though he was cleared of the more serious charges, the judge still denied him bail. So for now, he's staying in jail until his official sentencing.
Hip-hop mogul Sean Diddy Combs found partially guilty in his federal criminal trial. The jury finding him not guilty of the most serious charge, racketeering conspiracy, but finding him guilty of counts 3 and 5, transportation to engage in prostitution. Combs also found not guilty of sex trafficking. The prosecution calling 34 witnesses over the course of more than 6 weeks, including ex-girlfriends, former Combs employees, and rapper Kid Cudi. Prosecutors argued Combs and his associates used his business as a criminal enterprise to lure and traffic his ex-girlfriends Cassie Ventura and a woman who testified under the pseudonym Jane. They both testified they felt forced into drug-fueled sex performances with male escorts that Combs referred to as freak-offs, hotel nights, or wild king nights. The jury seeing more than 1,000 exhibits, including photos of baby oil and lubricant, assault weapons, and drugs. This footage also at the heart of the case, showing Combs kicking and dragging Ventura in 2016 at the Intercontinental Hotel in Los Angeles, after she says she tried to leave a freak-off. The defense argued the women were willing participants in fulfilling Combs' sexual desires, and that all the encounters we heard about in this trial were consensual.
Honestly, I'm not shocked at all by this outcome. I expected this verdict before the trial even started. I've been seeing so many comments online from people who are disappointed about it, and I completely understand. But this is why I made a video months ago when Diddy's homes were raided by Homeland Security, telling people to wait until the trial was over before declaring that Diddy was done. In that video, I pointed out how a lot of you were already talking about Jay-Z being next. I said y'all were celebrating way too early. I literally said, for all we know, Diddy could walk with a slap on the wrist after all this. So how is Jay-Z going to be next if they're not even done with Diddy yet? I also said, if Diddy walks away, we can forget about them getting Jay-Z. A couple of months ago, I even made a community post when I heard Diddy turn down a plea deal, even though he was facing a life sentence if he got convicted at trial. In that post, I said the news reminded me of when A$AP Rocky turned down a plea deal too, even though he was facing 25 years. People online called him dumb for it, but he ended up beating the case. That made me wonder if Diddy was doing the same thing. Maybe he turned it down because he felt like he would beat it too. I had a feeling the same thing might happen for him. And in that post I said, don't be surprised if Diddy ends up beating this case after all. Turns out, I was right. Now, of course, after the verdict, I saw some of y'all online holding on to hope, pointing out that each of the charges he was found guilty of carries a max sentence of 10 years, meaning he could be looking at 20 years total. But let me keep it real. I don't think he's gonna serve 20 years. Not even close. You're lucky if he gets sentenced to 10. And honestly, I don't even think he's gonna get 5. He'll probably get even less than that. The moment I saw this trial start, my first thought was, this trial is a big nothing burger. Especially after they showed the photos of the so-called evidence they found during the Homeland Security raid on his house. Most of what they showed was baby oil. I was like, that's not illegal. They raided this man's home, and that's what they found? Yeah, I saw a couple of pictures with firearms and illegal substances too, but even that didn't look like enough to convict him on these kinds of charges. Since the start of this trial, I've seen people online saying the prosecution didn't really have the evidence to prove he committed RICO. Others kept replying, it's an 8-week trial. They still have time to prove things. They're starting with Cassie to set the stage for what's coming. Turns out, the ones who said the prosecution had nothing were right. And now it's looking like they started with Cassie because that was the best evidence they had. And even she wasn't enough. This should be a lesson to all of y'all out there who celebrated too soon. Wait until everything is over before you start celebrating. Otherwise, you're just setting yourself up to be disappointed every time. Now let me be clear. I said Diddy might walk away from these charges not because I think he's innocent, but because we've seen this same scenario play out before. Take Bill Cosby, for example. So many people thought he was completely done after all those lawsuits. Everybody expected him to be put away for a long time, but instead, he only served a short amount of time. And I believe the same thing is going to happen with Diddy. If he's given a long sentence, I highly doubt he serves all of it. History always repeats itself. And in that same Homeland Security video, I also said that I believe there's something deeper on with Diddy behind the scenes in the music industry. I think they're using all these lawsuits to cover up the real reason they're targeting him. This trial only confirmed that belief for me. They clearly didn't have strong enough evidence to convict him of the charges they brought against him. Yet they still came at him hard and refused to let him out on bail. Why? There's clearly something else going on here. But anyway, that's it for this video. Let me know what you think about this story or what I said in the comments. I'll leave a link to the story in the description. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel. And don't forget to hit that bell so you'll be notified whenever I upload. Also, feel free to check out some of my older videos for more breakdowns like this one. Thanks so much for watching.